Hey everybody, my name is Scott Steehn. I am the lead handicapper over at winnersandwhiners.com. Winnersandwhiners.com, the number one site in the world for predictive sports analysis on every single game going on in America every single day. No matter what the sport, you can find complete predictions and previews over at winnersandwhiners.com. And that is especially true on Mondays and Thursdays when we do extra deep dives into the Monday night football game and the Thursday night football game. You will find no deeper dive anywhere on the internet. They do offense versus defense, defense versus offense, special teams, coaches, weathers. Yes, all the weathers are included. Weather, all the factors that could play a role in that game. Just check it out if you don't believe me. Winnersandwhiners.com on Mondays and Thursdays. And of course, if you're interested in my premium service, I will put a link there in the description of the video. Yeah, love to have you as part of the team, and just follow the link and you will be taken care of. All right. So with that being said, let's take a look at tonight's contest between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. The only undefeated team in the NFL, San Francisco 49ers. Not surprisingly, the Niners are a home favorite in this one of minus 6.5 points playing there at Levi Stadium. You know, you got to think in the dark of night when Pete's alone with his thoughts and it's quiet that when he watches the Niners play, I think he looks at them longingly and thinks that that's really the kind of team I'd like to be coaching. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure he loves Russ and Chris Carson and the rest of that offense, but I think in his heart of hearts, I think Pete Carroll is a 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of guy. Now, the Niners, man, they got the NFC leading rushing attack. They've got a ferocious pass rush, and they've got a shutdown defensive backfield. Kyle Shanahan is from the Bill Belichick school of head faking when it comes to the injury situation. So as of right now, as we record this early in the morning on Monday, reading the tea leaves, it looks like Greg Kittle is going to be out. However, I think they're going to get Kyle Juszczyk back at the fullback position, left tackle Joe Staley, and I think they have a decent shot of getting right tackle Mike McGlinchey back. But all three of those guys have been out multiple weeks, so it will definitely be a boon for the offense to get those 2 or 3 cats back. Not having Kittle is going to be huge, but don't underestimate the value of Kyle Juszczyk in the fullback position as far as the run game goes. San Francisco averaged just 3.2 yards per carry last week versus a pretty average at best Arizona run defense. Breida was fine, but Tevin Coleman kind of crashed back to earth after a couple of really good games. He tallied just 1.9 yards per carry on 12 totes. He needs to regain the form that saw him average 4.7 yards per carry on the season until last week's debacle. Mostert is likely to miss this one, and they're going to need to run the ball effectively to make that offense work. It helps open up the passing lanes. It takes a little bit of pressure off of the pass rush as far as Jimmy Garoppolo goes. The Seattle defense, it's one of the things that you learn when you look at this, when you look at the stats in this game. They are uncharacteristically bad this season. They are 25th in yards per game, 31st in yards per play, and 28th in pass defense. And not having Kittle, I think it's going to force Garoppolo to go over the top more. They've got a pretty good linebacking core in Seattle, and I don't know that they're going to be able to do the dump off the part they like to get the ball in space to their running backs. I don't know how much, and Kittle, of course, I don't know how much success they're going to have doing that with Kittle's replacement and the running backs with Bobby Wagner and the rest of those all-star Seattle linebackers. However, they should be able to have success over the top against what has been a pretty bad Legion of Gloom back there in the Seattle backfield, defensive backfield. He should have time. Seattle just, they don't get after the passer. They have just 15 sacks on the season. By the way, that is half as many as San Francisco has. On the other side of the ball, the San Francisco defense, as good as they are, they're going to have their hands full dealing with Russell Wilson. He's thrown 22 TD passes against just 1 interception. He is the first quarterback in NFL history to have that ratio regardless of the point in the season, not just to start the season, but at any time during the season. No one has ever put together a 22-1 run. Not even Tom Brady. He and Tyler Lockett are really, if you'll pardon this slight pun, locked in this season. And now they get to add Josh Gordon to the mix from the waiver wire. That is certainly not going to hurt. I don't know how effective Gordon will be still nursing that ankle, but it looks like he is going to go and give it a shot. Now, the question is, in this one, is whether or not a pretty average Seattle offensive line can give Russ time to do his thing against Bosa, Ford, Armstead, and the rest of that San Francisco front seven. That is fourth in the league in sacks, especially with Seattle left tackle Dwayne Brown banged up. He's got a man. Talk about a real man. He's got a bad knee and a bad shoulder, and he's going to be out there. But how effective will he be against that pass rush? Well, I guess we're going to find out. The Seahawks, with Russell Wilson, they have excelled in prime time, but Jimmy Garoppolo is undefeated at Levi Stadium. At the end of the day, though, here's what does it for me. San Francisco is the better balanced team. They don't have any real weaknesses. The Niners are definitely going to miss Quan Alexander in the middle of that defense, as he's out for the season. He's kind of the heart and soul of that unit, but is truly next man up there with San Francisco. Seattle, and they can run the ball. They've got Chris Carson. They do have a pretty fair running game. They're definitely going to put some points on the board. You're not going to stop Russell Wilson, and you're not going to completely stop their running attack. Both of those are genuine quality items, and Seattle is definitely going to get their points. But I think on the other side of the ball, we've just got too big of a mismatch, as the Niners should be able to impose their will on this Hawks suspect defense. I think the Seattle defense ends up spending too much time on the field. Wilson spends too much time watching from the bench, and an early slugfest, I think, turns into a San Francisco cover late in the game. Give me the San Francisco 49ers minus the 6.5. Hey, at the end of this game, you guys can join me. We'll pick up our winning tickets, and we'll head back to the window. All right, everybody, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We certainly appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Take care.